So this is going to be a two-part video. I've been asked by a couple of people to show the settings of my Livescope, and now obviously I am in my living room. I am not out fishing today. It is raining, and we are home working, and yes, I have Tom Ole on. So I'm not really going to be able to show you what it looks like, but I will go over a couple things to what I think are important. Right from looking at this, the biggest thing you're going to play with, and I never put on auto, is your depth. Right? I don't want it changing all the time just because it changes a little bit. Sometimes I can't see the bottom, and that's fine. Sometimes I want to see the bottom. That changes. A lot of these settings are going to change for water clarity, time of year, time of day. A lot of things make this different. If you're in super clear, deep water, you don't need the gain as high. And some people would argue the opposite on that. Settings is something that you really got to play with. Bait tracking is super important to me. I want to see how the fish are reacting to my bait. So I might be a little bit, because this is only a 9-inch screen. It's a Garmin 93 SV. It's the 2 LVS 34, not the uhd2, whatever. But I like to run at 55, 65 is usually where I'll keep it. Sometimes 70. I'll bump it out to 100, 110 to find the fish. But then when I get up on them, I'll try to stay in that 65 foot feet from them. So then we'll go over here. Sonar setup. Noise reject is very much most of the time off. You get the least. I do have it on low sometimes if I'm picking up a lot of shit and the water's like really dirty. I'll put it on low. But with the noise reject off, you will get a lot faster responses. There won't be as much of a lag. Ghost reject on high, again, that's another one. I'll most of the time start the day off, and if I'm getting a lot of stuff, because it changes, I'll run it on high. TVG off. Another time, I'll play with that a little bit. Where is it? Appearance. Color gain, I run it at 100%. When you put your color gain at 100%, you can back your gain off, and the colors really pop at you. That's my opinion. Someone may argue that that's stupid, but I run my color gain at 100%. Color limit default, not as important. I wish there was some, I'll try to do a video also of when I'm in the boat and show you guys what the different stuff and what it looks like. Trails off, bottom fill off. I like the amber. It's what I've always been looking at. But I do agree that some of the other color schemes are pretty cool. But amber's something that I'm just used to. Yeah. Other than that, that's about it. I don't, you guys are seeing pretty much everything that I'm doing here. Again, it's really hard to say, just go out there with these settings and it's going to be great. You got to almost get to be a pro with playing with them. Otherwise, you're not just going to say, this is perfect and this is going to work at all times. Also, when I'm not fishing or I'm moving spots, always turn your transmission off. That's going to stop from your transducer from overheating. Some people will argue, put the transducer one click up and you'll see the splash better. I have it set exactly where it's supposed to be, and I see the splash perfect every time. I get some people's setups different. The biggest thing that I'm going to tell you too right now is make sure that this is straight. If this sitting here like that, or vice versa like that, you will not be able to bait track. This has got to be perfect. Sometimes when I'm not being able to see my bait, I'll look back and be like, oh yeah, of course, there's my, that's cocked a little bit or whatever. I do have the larger pull on here. That's super nice. I really like that. I got to tighten that down. Thanks for reminding me. But otherwise, yeah, this is my setup as of right now. I may or may not switch to a 10-inch screen here at some point. I do have a 126 SV Ultra 2 that I use for that I usually run on all fish sonar. Yeah, and this stays up at the front of my boat. Sometimes I'll bring it back so I can have the charts on this one, and then have my graph up front going. But like, here's Negawicca, right? My color schemes, I do red. That's not even showing it that good. This is, well, somehow these color schemes got a little messed up. Most of the time this orange is supposed to be, yeah. I'll have to look at this, because this is different from my other graph now, to see why that is. I think once they're connected, it changes to match that other one. Yeah, I don't have anything like marked, oh, this is where you gotta fish. I'm terrible at marking waypoints. Yeah. That's it. Thank you for watching. Let me know what else you guys want to see. I'll make videos about whatever. I enjoy this stuff. I'm here to help. Yeah, a couple neat tips and tricks along the way. Yeah, thank you for watching.